name is DC, and I'm downtown in Rochester, Minnesota at the this thing right here. It's pretty much houses the courthouse, the police department, and the sheriff's office, along with I want to say they do license information too and registration. It's kind of like an all-in-one for the city of Rochester. I'm currently standing by the corner of 4th Street Southeast. I think this is 3rd Avenue Southeast. I'm just kind of standing on the public sidewalk that goes in front. I'll probably get up a little bit closer as time goes on, but yeah, hopefully I'll take some really nice pictures today too. I've got the Nikon D100. It's an old school camera, but it takes really nice pictures, so I think we'll keep going from there. So we'll see you later, hopefully uneventful. Hey, me again. We've been here for about 5 minutes so far. There's a lot of construction going on. So you can't really, I don't even see like an easy way to get in. You have to like go through one end of the building and then walk all the way around to get to the other end. It's kind of cool.
Recording it as well.
Great, thank you.
Okay, put your phone away.
No. What crime do you suspect me of breaking?
I don't suspect you of breaking any crime.
Okay.
There's been a complaint made against you of suspicious activity. My
That-
job,
Okay.
you asked me a question.
Sure.
My job is to investigate that. Part of my investigation is to identify you. Part of your responsibility in this process is to provide me with identification.
Well, thank you for explaining that to me, and I can appreciate you wanting to do your job correctly and honestly. Seeing as you said I'm not suspected of committing a crime, I'm not obligated to ID.
Where do you believe that?
That's a Fourth Amendment.
No, that's against
For a First
unreasonable
Amendment-
search and seizure, which we're not doing here.
Which kind of
I have
is.
reasonable. You're being
of
seized,
what crime?
yes.
So I'm being detained right now.
You are.
Okay.
At this point, yes.
For what crime?
Hey, this is Swenson, 2503. I don't have my radio with me, but have Tracy continue. All right, and have her, have her continue. Okay, thanks. Bye. So we're gonna sit and have this dance about you providing identification.
Not a dance at all. If I'm being detained, I'll be detained. That's fine.
Okay. We're gonna wait for a uniformed officer to get here.
Okay.
In the meantime, it'd be great if you'd tell me who you are.
Seeing as not how I'm not obligated to.
Who
I
said you're
don't
not
think so.
obligated? I don't understand where you think
Oh,
you're not
so-
obligated.
Well, I have to be accused of crime. In Minnesota, I have to be lawfully arrested for me to produce ID.
It's not true.
That is very true.
Actually, it's not. And where did you get that information?
Could I go ahead and have your supervisor come here?
Not at this point. No, you don't need to. I'll be
I'm formally requesting it.
formally requesting.
Formally requesting it.
Why is that?
Because you don't seem to know the laws about ID.
Perfect.
Could I get your badge number one more time? I know you showed it to me quickly. And your name?
Well, see, here's the thing, and I will provide all that to you, but you understand where this is a little bit of an issue? Since you're not providing me with any information, and I all of a sudden have to do all these things for you?
I'm not a public servant. So,
Okay.
you know.
My name is John Swenson.
Thank you, John. I'll give you that my name is Dan.
What's your last name, Dan? I gave you mine.
Sorry.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I know. I don't take tax money, for my salary.
Does that have channel 1 and everything on it?
I'll give it to you.
Hey, this is Swenson again. This person out here is not identifying himself. He's also not being very meet us out here, please. And I do have I do have a radio right now. I just got to get it over to channel 1. Thanks. Bye.
Do you want to be on 2 or what?
Channel 1, if I could.
Okay, you're there now.
Roll 1 is channel 1. say your first name was again?
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dan,
Mhm.
you don't answer questions.
This is true.
Can I ask? Well, we got to have a dialogue at some point. We got to have a conversation of some sort. I know that. I know that. Thank you very much, though. He has a right to do that. So, but you got to understand,
Yeah.
this is a government center. It's a law enforcement center. Yes,
Yep.
it's a public place, but with all the current events going on in our world, having somebody that's taking pictures, that's refusing to give their name and things, that causes some suspicion.
Sure. I can
Okay?
appreciate
and
that.
so my job, our job, is to find out what's going on.
Well,
This is Jim,
Hey, Jim.
refusing to tell me who he is.
I'm not
Thinks
Jim.
or no, I'm sorry, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
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 Hi.
Hi. What's,
Nice to meet you.
Here's some identification, please, Dan.
What crime am I being accused of committing?
There is no crime that you're being accused of committing. However, the law states if a police officer asks you to identify yourself, you must do that.
I don't think that's true in Minnesota. It's
That
not a
is-
stop and
that's-
identify
it's-
state.
No.
And
Because
I'm-
you're-
He's
'cause
also
we're-
asked for a supervisor.
We're called.
I have asked for a supervisor.
That's fine. We're called here on a complaint, so we have a valid right to be here. As do you,
Yeah, sure.
but we have a valid right to investigate.
Yeah, you can investigate all
And
you
that's
like.
why I need to have some identification.
I'm not going to identify myself until I'm lawfully arrested, because that is the only time I'm obligated to. So if you would like to arrest me for a crime,
I'm not sure what laws you think you need to be breaking
It's-
here. I don't know what
I don't think
laws
I am
you've
breaking the
read
law.
in the state of Minnesota, but
Well, I know it's not a stop and identify, so unless you are
Let me give you a
accusing me
scenario.
of a crime, then I will happily identify myself.
Well, let me ask
If
you
not-
this: do you drive a car?
I don't answer questions.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't answer questions.
that's good.
Okay. Well, you know what? When we make traffic stops, people aren't breaking laws per se, but we have a right to identify them.
If
So
you
how do
if you
explain
pull
that?
over someone without having them
Or crime. You
committing
said
a crime, yeah,
Well, just so you understand, a petty misdemeanor is not a crime, and if you're stopped for speeding,
yeah,
okay,
that's a speeding.
that's not a crime though, and I still get to identify you. So I'd like to.
So am I
where does that
speeding
come
right
from?
now?
I'm giving you an example.
Well, what crime
said it's a
or petty
crime.
misdemeanor do you suspect me of committing to where I would need to identify myself?
We're past that at this point.
Past that to what? I don't know where we've passed and where we are now.
Could you see that?
I'm being detained, right?
Yeah.
For what crime?
Well, suspicious activity for.
So
what
is
you're being-
suspicious activity a law?
It's an action that causes police to react, which will
Okay.
cause us to come and have a conversation with you, which you're refusing to have. You don't answer questions,
That's true.
which causes us to be even more suspicious. You
I'm-
also
I'm
fail
more
to provide.
suspicious for-
You fail to provide identification, which is
That's
under
right.
what our job is to solve these problems, these suspicions.
Okay.
And you understand that this is suspicious. We're trying to solve this, and the way we're going to solve this is to have you identify yourself, so we know that you're not have other issues going on that we might be concerned with. Like right now, I'm
I have
concerned.
no other issues. I mean, I'm obviously a photographer, which is a First Amendment right. I'm
That's
on
not
public
an obvious
property.
thing.
Yeah, where's your
To us.
identification identifying you as a photographer? Other than you have a camera.
I can carry
So,
a camera too, but
so
doesn't make me a
it
photographer,
matters.
right?
So a photographer, by definition, is one who takes photographs.
Where's your
that-
credentials that you're a photographer?
Are you
For
saying
real?
as a
Credentials for
profession
what?
or
There
just
you
as
go.
a hobby?
What does it matter?
Well, the title of photographer tells me that you might do that as a profession.
I don't answer questions, and obviously, it's not relevant. Truthfully,
Well, it actually is because this is a government facility
yeah.
and you're out here taking photographs, which you know what, you have every
So-
right to do, but here's the thing.
Okay.
When we come up and say, "Oh, I'm working," and I say, "Hey, what are you up to?" I don't answer questions.
That's right.
You could answer, say, "Oh, I'm working on a science project. I'm supposed to take pictures of the birds or the trees, or you know what? I like the building structure. I'm taking pictures
But
of that."
I'm not obligated to tell you anything like that.
You are. The average person would identify themselves to us.
That's
and
not
would provide their
necessarily true.
identification. No, it is true. In my line of work, what I do.
Look.
You don't know. I'm telling you this.